Hey, what's up guys, it's your boy Firefox and we're going to be testing out one of the top meta decks right now in Pokemon Pocket TCG. Let's get into it. As you can see from on the screen, one of the top meta decks, let me just zoom in here, as you can see, took first place, and second place in 3 of the last large tournaments on Limitless TCG. And this deck is none other than Giratina Darkrai. Now the deck has changed a little bit, not very much, but it's still quite meta. We are still running 2 Darkrai, 2 Giratina, Professor's Research, Pokemon Center Lady for the heals, Red to just get that over the top damage if you're playing against something like Charizard. We have Leaf for the free retreat in case we get stuck in the active, Mars, Cyrus, Guzma, Silver, which is a new card from Wisdom of Sea and Sky to kind of see what is in your opponent's hand, as well as get rid of a supporter that they have. You have Pokeball, Potion, Red card, Rocky Helmet, and Cape, of course. So let's get into a few games. I'm going to play 3 games and stick around till the end because the last game is kind of spicy. Now I'm doing these games in ranked in the new A4 ranked season because way better to test out if a deck is viable than in ranked matches. Right now I'm currently still in Great Ball, but I'm just about to get into Ultra, so hopefully my opponents give me some challenge. As you can see, the first deck that we're possibly going up against is the Crobat, and the Crobat also runs a Darkrai inside of it, so it'll be interesting to see what this person has cooked up. Some persons are still trying to get cards. They have been a bit difficult to source. We are going first, so we're going to get that free energy off. We may want to put it on the back bench, but I'm going to be a little risky and put it on the front and assume that he is going to be bricked. We still have to wait for him to evolve 2 turns over, so we're not worried this turn too much. So we just broken Space Bellow here and hope for the best. Now, there is the chance that he could poison me here, but I'm not sure that he will take the risk because I have the helmet on, unless he thinks that the poison is going to kind of disrupt me, which it may, but I am running something like Pokemon Center Lady to kind of counteract any poison damage that we will receive, which we are definitely going to receive because we are playing against Crobat. Now I already have Silver in my hand, which means we're going to be able to kind of check early to see what he has, as well as kind of offset some of his plans for the future. So we're going to run Silver now. As soon as it comes back to me, we're hoping to get Darkrai as well. This is where the deck kind of starts performing, because you can attach the Dark Energy onto Darkrai and do some damage to the active. Now, even if he attacks me again, it's gonna kind of finalize and take off some health off of him so that we can kind of kill that Crobat when it does come down. Now we're gonna get rid of his Silver so he can't see what is in our hand. We also get to take a look at what is in his hand. He has Sylveon EX and Giant Cape. Alright, Sylveon EX and Giant Cape. So right now we know for sure that he's bricked. He has to pull into his Crobat, and even if we get hit now, I think we do survive because he does 70 and then 10, that's 80. I'm gonna get 10 damage now as well. Actually, let's charge the back. We charge in the back just to play it safe, just in case our Giratina in front dies. We can retreat with Leaf, so we're not too worried, and we just got rid of his Silver, so he's not going to remove our Leaf from our hand anytime soon. He won't take the risk to attack me here with the Zubat, I doubt. So he just passes, because if he attacks me, he dies next turn. So we're actually going to heal off of this poison. I'm going to attach the energy here, do 20 damage to the active. And I'm going to take the chance to charge the front. And we just leave it at that. Yep. We don't need to make any other plays. We don't need to put this cape down just yet. The cape is kind of going to save us when we recognize he's gonna like KO us and we need like 20 health to save us. Or for decks that run Charizard that does 150 damage, we kind of run the cape so that we can get an attack off at least. So right now we're just holding the cape, and he took the risk of killing himself to re-poison my Giratina. He probably does know the deck, knowing that I will not have a second Pokemon Center Lady to do any heals. Alright, and he just had to pass. So he knows that I can't attack this turn. However, we can do this. Actually, we could attack this turn if we wanted to, but I won't because I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, is it? Actually, it may be worth it because we can take the damage off of... We can take the poison off of our Giratina. It doesn't save Giratina, but it does give us a chance to survive something from Sylveon, possibly. I don't think he has Crobat in his hand, because if he did, he would have evolved by now. And we're just gonna hit him for 80. Now, realistically, we've won this game already. However, you never know with these type of games how persons plan to make their comeback. So we're just gonna have to wait and see if we act. Oh, he conceded. Right, that's game 1. All right, and it's 3 games we're going to be playing. So best out of 3, I guess. Okay, so we're on to game number 2, and I'm going second, which means I get to attach an energy first. Luckily enough, we opened with Darkrai, and I'm letting you see the full playthrough for each game back to back to back. We're doing 3 games only, and if I lose a game, I'm leaving it in. So you'll kind of see if the deck is still viable or not. Now, I can't say that I'm familiar with what deck he's playing right now. It is some sort of poison deck. We see Venipede in the front and 2 Nehilegos on the bench. So he's already going to be doing an extra 20 damage poison each turn or between turns. So we have to kind of look to see where he's going with this. We know that Nehilego doesn't evolve into anything, but Venipede does. So we may have to see if we can avoid him getting an evolution off early. He is going to be able to evolve first because he did go first, and that's the positive of going first, is evolving first. We have 2 Pokeballs, which means we're going to get all our Pokemon here on the field right off the jump, which is fine. We are never scared to have Pokemon on the field. It's actually much better for us. It kind of intimidates the opponent as well, and with 4 Pokemon on the field with 140 HP and over, it is pretty intimidating. Now, I'm not sure how much damage he's going to hit me for, so I'm going to kind of wait and see what he does before I attach my cape. This could be a mistake. This is why it's very good to have knowledge of the decks that you're playing against. So in instances like this, you can kind of prepare yourself for the worst. Okay, so he evolves here, so I kind of get to see your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Okay, I think this Pokemon does have another evolution, so we'll have to wait to see what that does to us. But right now we take poison and 20 damage, so that's essentially 50, I think, with the 2 Nehilegos on the back. Yep. Alright. Now if he evolves us again, we may be in trouble, but we're not sure just yet. I'm gonna heal, and I'm also gonna attach a cape. Even though the cape does not take off the poison off of me, it's just gonna give me a little extra time to leave Darkrai in front. I'm not too scared of it dying next turn. I am probably scared of it dying the following turn, but I do have Leaf to retreat it if I need to, so we're gonna just leave it there. A part of playing Giratina Darkrai is being knowledgeable about your numbers, because you can lose pretty quickly if you don't do your calculations correctly. So hopefully I did mine correctly and my Darkrai doesn't die at this point here. Oh, I don't know. So he gets rid of my Leaf. Is it Leaf or Leaf? Let me know in the chat, guys. Let me know in the comments. Sorry. Now there's a possibility that my Darkrai dies in the next turn, so we're gonna actually retreat into our second Darkrai. We're gonna attach energy to it, and we're also gonna put a helmet onto it, so that if it does get hit, similar to the last Darkrai, it will do damage in return. Next turn, we also are able to hit with our main damage for this deck, which is the Giratina. Now, it doesn't mean you can't do damage with Darkrai. However, you kind of can charge Darkrai and Giratina in the same turn. One with the energy from your energy pool, and then one from the ability. So, I think he's setting up in case oh, he's going for the KO actually. So he's going to be ahead on prizes. He is going to have 2 prizes while I have 0. I can take 1 prize in the upcoming turn. And what does this do? If your opponent active Pokemon is poisoned, this attack does 50 more damage. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 120 damage. So he can go for kills. He can go for kills on my Giratina if I put it up too early. So that's something we're going to have to pay attention to. Now we can use Mars here. He already has 1 card in his hand, so we're actually going to leave him with the Mars. And we're going to actually put Darkrai to do some chip damage onto him. And we're going to start charging our second Giratina, in case we have to make some sort of switch around. The good thing about lower down on the rank boards is that you see some very interesting decks that potentially counter the meta, but they are not played heavily in the higher up levels of gameplay, so it doesn't make it into top meta cut because it isn't. It would be good against one deck, but not good against others, you know. So here we need to actually start doing some damage. Now he has the one on the back ready to KO if necessary. We have to probably just assume that he doesn't have a response for us. So what we're going to do is, yeah, we're going to retreat and KO. Yeah, so we're going to retreat here with Leaf. Actually, we're going to retreat hard retreat into Giratina. We're going to attach an energy. And we are going to swing. Now we could lose this match depending on if he has another Scolipede in his hand currently, or if he draws into it. It's highly likely that he can, because he has 6 cards left in his deck, and the assumption is that he would have 1 more left. And if he does have it, he wins because he attacks for 120. So we are just hoping that he doesn't have it currently. Okay, he puts on Poison Barb, which is good for us because it means that we are not going to die this turn, and then the only thing he can attack us with next is Nihilego. Oh, he's going to attack for more damage here. Alright, so he does 60 and he poisons for 30. So we're going to have to retreat this turn to save our Giratina. We can hard retreat with Leaf into, let's see, he does 20, 30, 40, 50. He does 50 damage. So we're going to retreat. We're going into Darkrai. We're going to attach to Darkrai. This deck is actually countering us right now. And we're going to use Giratina's ability for an energy. There's no way we attack with Giratina again until we get that extra energy from the next turn, so he has some time to get all the cards that he needs. All he needs realistically is his Scolipede, which does 70 damage, and he kind of KOs me right in this turn, which he doesn't find, so it's definitely in his deck still. Alright. We are in a very tricky situation here because we have to retreat again. So we are going to hard retreat here into our Giratina with full health. And this is our last hope of a Giratina, because it's our last bit of damage. We have to hope that he also doesn't have a Cyrus to kind of finish off our bench Pokemon. There's his Silver, and we just use our ability and pass. Now we're in a good position because even if he gets his Scolipede now, he can only hit for 70 damage. And he doesn't poison with the damage from Scolipede. Ah, there's his Sabrina. So we've lost. Alright. Alright, so we will pull forward, and yeah, that's a loss there. So that's 1-1. So let's move on to game number 3. Alright, this is game number 3, and we need to win this one for us to prove that Giratina is still one of the top decks. So we are going second, which means we get to attach first. We opened with Darkrai, thankfully, so we're gonna get to do some tap damage as soon as the game begins. And it looks like we're going against one of those Rockruff into Lychenrock decks. Now it could be running Fanfi, which does 110 damage. That's one of the newer cards that was just released in the last set. I think we immediately go for a Professor's Research. We do have Guzma in the hand, so that when we are ready to attack, we can freely. We don't get any more basic Pokemon, but I'm not worried that we're going to get knocked out in this turn. But it is always nice to start charging Giratina early. So, and this is important to note when playing this deck, is that you can brick. Not every deck is 100% of the time going to win 10 out of 10 games. There are times you're going to come up against off-meta things, as well as you're not going to pull the cards that you need for it to work. Alright, so we got a Pokeball here. So we're going to get either Darkrai or Giratina. Alright, so we got our Giratina. Now, Lycanroc is a bit unique in the sense that if your opponent's active Pokemon has more remaining HP than yours, this attack does 50 more damage. So he does 100 damage if I have more HP than him, which I do currently. It does look like his hand is bricked, however, because he isn't putting anything else on his bench, which is good for us. So we're just going to do some more searching. We do have Cape, just in case he has, I don't know, any extra bit of damage. We do find our second set of Pokemon, so we're going to put them down on the field now and charge our Giratina to pass the turn. Now next turn, if he doesn't put anything down on the bench, we kind of get a free KO, and I guess it will be proven that Dark Tina still works. He's going for the heal. He has to get something on his bench, otherwise he concedes. And I think he knows that. I think he's recognizing now that if he doesn't put down a Pokemon, which, okay, he got one. So he's still in the game. He's going to keep trying. So he's running Lucario so that he can get that extra bit of damage. But he won't be able to get into Lucario right now. So it's just going to be 100 damage for now. And we're going to KO his Lycanroc at right now, I think, actually. Before we KO his Lycanroc, however, we're going to heal with Potion. And then we are going to Guzma so that we don't take that damage back. So that when we kill here, we are just at 80 HP now. This is why it's important to know your opponent's deck. Riolu evolves into Lucario, which only does 60 damage. At this point, he only does 60 damage because he will do 40, I believe, naturally, and then he will do an increased amount of 20 because of his ability. It does look like he's playing Ramparados as well. He may have just had bricked hands. We do continue to take the opportunity to knock out his Pokemon. We can charge a little later on in the game. So there's no need for us to charge Giratina right now because Darkrai is putting in most of the work. He does have a solid attack at 80 damage. His Ramparados, and he concedes. Alright, so that was 3 out of 3. Yeah, guys. So you've seen Giratina take a game, you've seen Darkrai take a game, you've seen us lose a game. But let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you think Darktina is going to be in the meta for quite some time in A4 season? Do you think persons are going to come up with some counter decks like the Scolipede we saw? Was it really counter, or did I just have bad hands or bad draws? Let me know in the comments down below, and let me also know what decks are you playing that are off meta. I would like to build some, so please leave a comment down below of your off meta deck so I can build it, test it out, and who knows, maybe feature it in a video. It's your boy Firefox. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Adios.